God of War. Hey guys, it's Turner4590, and welcome to the next generation of this beloved franchise, Dad of War. God of War for the PlayStation 4. So, this is a bit of a first because this game, as you are all aware, is not even a month old at this point. I think this is the quickest we've ever covered a game on this channel because this game is Critical Darling, made a lot of money, and me personally, I think it's fantastic. So I figured everyone here, I think, loves God of War, so let's give them what they want, and that's more Kratos bloodlust. So first off, let's just meddle with some settings real quick. Oh, okay, there we go. I just had to change around some of the controls, because the default controls of this game are strange. I'll get into that a little bit later when we get into the combat, but anyway, let's just get kicking. One thing I want to point out right away is that this game is extremely long. You could probably watch my playthroughs of the first 3 God of War games, and this one would still be going on. So it is extremely long, which is why, again, I gave this, you could call it an excuse. I think it makes the most sense, and that's the fact that on the other games, I played on the easiest difficulty, because the easier the game is, the quicker Kratos kills them, and the more entertaining it is to see Kratos tear through these enemies. And gonna be honest, enemies in this game are total damage sponges, even in the beginning of the game on normal, which I did complete the game on normal for the record, but in the interest of time and not wanting to make it so that, okay, well, here's 700 parts of me hitting enemies a million times over, which is probably what you want to see anyway. I don't know. Me personally, I just want to relax, have a good time, and when I started this game, I was also here mainly for the story. So give me a goddamn story. I love that it just gets right into it. Just bam, you're in it. You are the God of War. Such a majestic beard. The times have changed. No more mini goatee for me. This tree looked at me funny, therefore it must pay the price. Oh, that's one enemy down. Ding! Achievement get. Not these bloody bandages! God. The expressions Kratos has in this game.
I found some.
They say a million words. Who the hell are you?
Get in the boat, boy.
Daddy's wrapping his bandages right now. Leave me alone. Okay, so right into it. So, if it wasn't apparently, obvious from the get-go, this is not your dad's God of War game. This is kind of a genre shift, honestly. It's still an action game, but
Tied to the boat.
the style of action has changed dramatically, and there's a way larger emphasis on cinematic and presentation in this game. Because if you couldn't tell, it looks unbelievable. This is running on a PS4 Pro, by the way. on performance mode, so most of the game is going to be at a swift 60 frames a second, which is even more impressive considering how gorgeous it still looks.
That is enough.
Oh, thank God. I had no idea which way I was going until that popped up. Thank you.
Father,
What?
did something change? The forest feels different.
Everything is different, boy. Try not to dwell on it.
It's almost like telling the player, like, everything has changed. Don't think about it too much. We're not even in the same mythology anymore, son. God, I love how you're gonna be seeing this all throughout the game, but like one thing this game shows really well is just how stupidly strong Kratos is. Like you see it all the time in the other games, but you kind of take it for granted. But in this game, like I don't know, it made me realize like him doing menial tasks like picking up this giant log is like he isn't even like there isn't a single bead of sweat on his face right now. Like this is like picking up a piece of paper right now. God, look at this man. Nice axe, too. God, this game's so pretty. Music by Bear McCreary. I believe he did the music for Battlestar Galactica, I believe. And a new composer for God of War, just like pretty much everything is new in this game. And the music in this game, some of the stuff you're going to hear is out of this world.
That was the last.
And directed by Cory Barlog, which is a name if you've ever watched the God of War 2 special features disc that came with God of War 2 on the PS2. You might actually remember that name because that was the same director of God of War 2. So it's a series veteran doing this game, so it wasn't just like, oh, let's just make it a different kind of game because let's just make it what's popular. Like it's clear that like the person making this like obviously loves God of War. He made what is considered the best in the series by a lot of people. A lot of really fun interviews online with him too. Seems like a really cool guy.
Did they call to me?
Again, just want to stress this will be a little bit of a different kind of playthrough. A lot more laid back, because again, if you're watching this, you're in for the long haul, because it's long.
Did they call to me?
So sit back and enjoy. I can tell you one thing though, Kratos isn't gonna enjoy a single second of this.
She's ready.
Find your way home. You are free.
Whoa! Wait, no, wrong game. Never mind. God, this really does sound like Phantom Pain music. All jokes aside, it really does. That wasn't very smart.
I'm sorry.
Squeeze.
I want you to throw the snowball as hard as you can right at my face, son.
This knife. It was hers. Now it is yours. She taught you to hunt.
She knew.
Show me.
Now?
Now.
God. Literally, God. Again, his face just... You can tell exactly what he's thinking
What are
at
we
every
hunting?
moment of this
You are
game.
hunting deer.
Which way?
In the direction of deer.
Oh, shit.
Okay, this way.
Not very enthusiastic about this. Okay, and welcome to the main brunt of the game.
I need to know you can survive the journey.
Then we leave for the mountain?
Depends on you. Hunt.
So right off the bat, I'm just gonna actually... Okay, well, here's the entire menu system. Get used to it, because this is the whole game. I just actually wanted to change the camera settings real quick. Okay, that's a bit better. Just a little bit too sensitive. So yes, this is, rather than having a kind of like a third-person, giant camera angles sort of view like all the other games in the series, this
Where
one
did you
opts
find?
for a more
Tracks.
closer, intimate approach
I'll keep looking.
with the behind-the-shoulder cam for the entire game. And it's going to stay behind Kratos' shoulder the entire game during gameplay, so, yeah, again, intimate is the best way I could describe it. Another thing new to this game is that God of War has always had like light exploration elements, but in this game specifically, it is actually an open world, because looking at this map, it actually has a map for once. And the open world, while not being like overly huge, like it's not like Breath of the Wild or anything, like even comparing it to like other open world games, like
I'll see what's up ahead.
it doesn't even really compare, and most of it is linear, but as far as comparing it to other God of War games, it's enormous in comparison, because
Boy,
there's lots of
you
collectibles in
missed
this
these.
game. Lots of side quests, and lots of
Close.
bang for your buck.
But also not deer. See? Tips are too wide. Mountains up?
Your mother taught you well.
Yeah.
You're getting your boot tracks all over my mud, boy. Or whatever your name is. So, as far as the exploration elements are concerned, I will be exploring. I haven't really decided on whether I'm hell bent on screw those chests. This game has like 5 different chest animation openings, and they're all great. The game has lots of side quests and stuff. I haven't really decided whether I'm not going for true 100%. I may show off some of the side content, especially towards the end of the game. There's a pretty infamous side quest line that you can do, a side quest chain, that is pretty entertaining, and I probably will show that off. As far as 100%, I won't. I'm just going to be exploring the areas very thoroughly, and trying to show you every
tracks?
corner of the world when
Yeah.
I can.
But they're too round. Could be a wild boar.
Good.
Oh! Now what?
Well, jump, clearly. So, when the game ever has areas... Kratos can't double jump like the nimble man he was in the last games. He is a lot older now. So, unfortunately, he is reduced to Zelda-style auto-jumping. So whenever you see those markings on the ground, those like yellow chalk markings, that's when you know you can climb or you can jump. So
Deer tracks. They're fresh. This way.
the game does a good job of letting you know when there's stuff like that to worry about. Also, yeah, just I hope it's coming through as well in the footage, because yeah, this game is probably the prettiest game we've ever played on this channel. Ooh, pretty.
Found it!
Slow down, boy.
Sorry.
You are hunting deer, not chasing it.
Yes, Father.
Okay, so throughout the game, you're going to be picking up hack silver, and that's essentially your currency of the game. It's what you're going to be using to upgrade a lot of your gear, which, yeah, spoiler alert, there's lots of stuff in this game to upgrade, so we're going to be doing a lot of that. That's actually one thing. Editing out in this game, since the game is going to take forever, but I'm assuming you're all fine with that. I will try and cut down on things, so whenever there's extended menu times of me just, like, equipping stuff, like, or, like, because you're going to spend a lot of the time in the menu in this game, I will try and trim down stuff like that, and backtracking, etc., when I can, just to make it a little bit easier to
Broke our
watch.
bridge. How are we gonna get across?
Step aside.
Okay, and here we come to the main mechanic of the game, the Leviathan Axe. So, gone are the Blades of Chaos from the other God of War games, and in with the new, which is the Leviathan Axe. And this thing takes a while to get used to. Once you do, it's real fun as a combat tool and also as a puzzle-solving tool, as you can see.
Go.
The unfortunate thing is, every time you throw your axe, you actually have to find where it landed. Sometimes it'll land out of bounds and stuff, and you won't really be able to grab it. Or you could just do this. So yeah, this axe is basically Mjolnir, and it's pretty freaking cool.
What are you doing? Now its guard is up. Only fire. Only fire. When I tell you to fire.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry.
Oh, this kid looks so
Be
obliterated right now.
Find it. Find it.
Oh, okay, well, Kratos wants to go over here. Okay, then.
My bow!
No! You are not ready. Stay back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, time for the combat of this game. And, again, just like the rest of the game has been completely changed up, so has the combat. So, instead of being mainly about, like, just dealing with a million enemies at once, like large sweeping camera angles, lots of crazy stuff. The combat is a lot more, again, intimate is the word to describe in this game, and Kratos can do all sorts of stuff like that, and obviously I'll be getting into the combat as we go through it, but the main thing you're going to be doing is just going from enemy to enemy, like in the other games, comboing and throwing your axe whenever you can.
Father, they've never come this close to our woods before.
Keep moving.
Yeah, again, if this, we'd be in that combat area for probably another minute, even bumping the difficulty up by 1, just simply because of how much damage all the enemies can take. Again, not that it's a bad thing, it's not like, oh, it's such a grind, it's just, again, this game is long. In the interest of time, I think it'd just be better to have the difficulty be lowered for this playthrough. Not because I can't do it, but because, do you really want 100 parts? Do you really? Because I don't. Okay, just like other God of War games, there is light exploration, a lot more exploration in this game. But another, one nice thing that the game does is that your boy, Atreus, normally, especially in this first part of the game where we don't really have a way to tell what direction we're going, so Atreus actually kind of acts as the way to go, because wherever Atreus goes, that is where the direction of the main quest is. So if he goes west, then you should go east, because that's where all the collectibles are. And believe me, you're going to want to collect stuff, because gear is good in this game. Where the hell did you come from, boy? Oh yeah, his name's not Atreus, it's boy. Oh god! There we go. So throughout combat, you'll actually you will get random drops from enemies. Like the ones we just got there are health crystals, and I'm sorry, I'll try not to talk too much. There's a lot of dialogue in this game, so a lot of it might be relatively quiet on my end, but I will try and interject whenever they aren't talking. Throughout the game, you can find health pickups and stuff throughout combat, and they are very quick to pick up. He'll just stomp it and get more health.
We can.
So in chests like this, you'll find usually I believe in the red chests, which look really badass, but I'm pretty sure they're, as far as chests go, they're like the second most common chests you'll see, and they'll usually just contain money or crafting materials, like resources. Maybe the occasional like gear piece or something, but never anything crazy in those red chests. They're pretty common. Again, there's a ton of different kinds of chests. We've already seen 2 of them already in the first 20 minutes of the game. And as far as what a slow crawl Kratos is right now, don't worry, we will get the ability to run in a little bit. It won't be like the other God of Wars where constantly rolling over and over is the fastest way of travel. Don't worry. Kratos will equip his sprinting shoes on as soon as we catch a few Pokemon or kill a few Draugr, whatever comes first. But yeah, here's one of those health crystals I was picking up earlier, and just stomp on it and bam, just instant health fill, which is very convenient in the middle of frenzied combat. So yeah, using the Leviathan Axe, you can do it for all sorts of things, like combat and environmental puzzles. So one thing you're going to be seeing all over this game is these rare ruin chests. And the gimmick of the ruin chests is whenever you see one of them, that means that there are 3 sigils in the environment that need to be destroyed or activated in some way. So for this room, it's pretty simple. They always have this blue, glowing, like Firefly-esque aura to it. So you can just if you find those seals, which are always nearby where the chest is, you can open it and always get something good, which in this case is an Idun apple. And Idun apples, there are only 9 of them in the whole game, and every 3 you'll get an immense health increase, like a really, really big health increase. It's really noticeable, even just getting 1 upgrade for it. So we're definitely going to want to find all of those because it really helps. Sorry about that.
Up there! You went in the old temple. But Mom told me never to go in there.
We do what we please, boy. No excuses.
That's damn right. I'll do whatever I goddamn want. Emphasis on God. Which I am.
Can I have my bow back now?
Can you hit it from here?
We should get closer.
Good idea.
I went hunting with Mother a bunch of times. She never wanted to take me. Why now?
It was her wish. And it was time.
Okay.
So yeah, again, another thing that you've probably noticed by now is that Kratos is not played by the same actor in this game. It is a different actor, Christopher Judge, and he does a phenomenal job in this game. I really, really like his performance. It's probably one of my favorites, honestly, that I've ever seen, to be totally honest, because there's some pretty great moments that you're going to be seeing throughout the game. Anyway, back into the main combat, and again, I will be getting more into all the nitty-gritty of what you can do, but the main thing is you're going to be wanting to do a bunch of steady swings. Another thing you can also do is block like that. And doing parries is extremely useful, especially since you'll just send the enemy flying back. And you can get a lot of really good hits. A lot of good hits in, rather. There you go.
Something's gotta open that gate.
And I said a little bit earlier that you can use the Leviathan axe for puzzle-solving elements, and I really meant it, because it is a very versatile weapon, even more versatile than the blades from the previous games. But using the Leviathan axe, you can actually freeze things in place, because it has a lot of frost power, as you can see. So switches like that and gears, you can actually freeze when you open them up, and you can actually access areas very easily with that. And here's a great example of recalling the axe. When you recall the axe, you can literally recall it from anywhere. So you want it, you got it. So by all means, throw, recall. That is the once you get into a good rhythm of throwing your axe at enemies, the combat gets a hell of a lot easier. Because again, maybe not on easy difficulty. There's nothing to really be worried about. But on harder difficulties, this game does not mess around. Even the first combat that we had a little bit earlier is notoriously difficult. Even on like the hardest difficulty, it is like you will probably die 1,000,000 times if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, just in that first combat area alone. It is pretty brutal. So yeah, again, there's lots of exploration in this game, and getting exploration will mostly reward you with things to find, obviously.
The giant wolves who chase the sun and moon. Where did they come from? How did they get up there? What's happening there at the end? They eat the sun and moon? And then everybody fights?
So, if you couldn't tell already, we are in the world, we are no longer in Greece, we are now smack dab in the world of Greek mythology. Not Greek mythology, I'm an idiot. let me rephrase that. We are smack dab in the middle of Norse mythology, and holy crap, I normally, whenever games give you, like, a bunch of lore that you can read in the menus and stuff, I normally am just like, no thank you, I just don't care enough to read it. But in this game, that's a whole nother story. It is so interesting in this game, reading all about the mythology that this world is based in. Also, throughout the game, you're going to be seeing things that you can hit with your axe. Usually, when you aim at them, they will be lit up in some way with some sort of, like, sigil. In this case, they're lighting up bright blue, so it's kind of hard to miss. And for this rock right here, all we need to do is just use an explosive barrel, essentially, to blow it open. Get some hack silver for our trouble. And some more hack silver. Okay. Well, don't worry. It's going to be a resource that we're going to be needing a lot of, so not too bad. Okay, moving on. Hey, Trace is going that way, so we're going this way. Never mind, we already went that way. We're going this way.